Happy Thursday to you. A couple of prayer requests for you. One is a dear friend, Dickie Morehouse, has just come through quadruple bypass surgery. Hope you'll continue to pray for his continued recovery and full healing from that surgery. Also ask you to continue to pray for a good friend, Bobby Ruff, who got Guillain-Barré syndrome and is going through therapy to try to get back to strengthen his legs and his upper body. So hope you'll pray for those two in specific. We also have a lady in our church here in Simpsonville who's having some intestinal problems. I hope that you'll pray for her. I'm going to leave her name anonymous. Christmas questions. Questions you can ask on Christmas Day and questions you can ask on Christmas Eve of your family and have a good time and fun with it. This is part 5. You'll want to go back and get all 4 parts and make a list of the questions for that special time when you want to use this activity in your home for this Christmas season. So here's your 3 questions in part 5. When Gabriel came foretelling Mary's pregnancy and birth of the child Jesus, what was Mary's only question to Gabriel? When Gabriel came to talk to Mary and to foretell the birth of Jesus, what was Mary's only question to him? Question number 2. What was Gabriel's response, and why is it so significant? What was Gabriel's response, and why is it so significant? And then question number 3. When you think about the Bible in its totality, and you think about this story of Gabriel and with Mary, is there an Old Testament story that would bring the same principle and the same kind of questioning to mind? Is there an Old Testament story that seems to parallel a little bit in a lot of different ways this response of Gabriel's and the fact that we should learn from it? So 3 questions. Are you ready for your answers? Here they are. How can we know that Mary's question was a sincere question and not a doubting? Well, I think it's very, very clear that sometimes when people doubt, God kind of rebukes them for that, but there's no rebuke here. When Gabriel came foretelling Mary's delivery of a child, we find that her only question was, how can this be since I'm a virgin? That's a legitimate question. If you've never had relations with a man, how can you bear a child? And Gabriel very patiently explains exactly how this is going to happen through the Holy Spirit, and not to be afraid, and no rebuke and all involved. Question number 2, Gabriel's response was not only the explanation of how this was going to happen through the Holy Spirit, but the verse, Luke chapter 1, verses 35 through 37. Verse 37 is key here. And listen carefully to these words that Gabriel said to Mary when she asked how this could be when it seemed impossible since she was a virgin. Gabriel said, "Nothing is impossible with God." Do you believe that? I believe it. I believe that nothing is impossible with God. And so we see this wonderful answer that we need to always keep in mind, no matter what kind of news we get, no matter what kind of difficulties we face, but nothing is impossible with God. Finally, question 3, a little tougher question. What Old Testament story can you kind of relate this to? And the answer is found in Genesis chapter 18, and it's about Abraham and Sarah, who are way up in their years, and God says that Sarah is going to have a child, and Sarah laughs. But again, in Genesis 18:14, nothing is impossible with God, and that's exactly what we find when we find that not only did Abraham and Sarah have a child, but he would be a very special child, and all of the nations of the world would come from this child. So we have a wonderful promise in the fact that nothing is impossible with God. That's your thought for the day. I'm trying out a new camera on a new computer with a little different lighting situation, and I hope that it's a little easier to see than yesterday's. God bless you. Have a great day.